Let's start with this photograph of a 16-year-old boy. It's important to note what he's wearing.
On his head. Down to your knees now.
Bro.
Drop down to your knees. Hey, he's on his knees. He's on his knees.
This is the same boy, shouted at by the police, reassured by his friends.
Bro, Jamar. Hey, Jamar, all three of us are in handcuffs, bro. Don't worry.
And back to what he's wearing. It doesn't match the person the police are looking for.
Basically, a black lad in a full black tracksuit or black jacket has been running around with a samurai sword.
Okay. I'll repeat that. There's a black lad, the officer says, in a full black tracksuit and carrying a samurai sword in the area. Jamar Powell is not that person. In fact, all the black boys are searched. The person filming is their one white friend.
He's alright. He hasn't said it, is he? It's like just checking.
He's not on the description, but obviously it could be passed around, so yeah.
This week, the family found out that the Metropolitan Police will be paying them compensation and issuing an apology. Jamar Powell says he had a taser poked into the back of his neck during the search.
What would a meaningful apology from the police actually look like to you?
A face-to-face conversation, maybe, like to actually look into my eyes and see what I'm feeling and, you know, get some real depth of the situation. Because I feel like where they're just up there, it's like, oh guys, yeah, we're sorry for whatever we've done to you, and then they just get on with their life, and it's like they don't really know the seriousness.
Although that's been successful, the civil claim, one, you know, why should we have had to have taken it that far? And secondly, for me, there's more important issues that are yet to be dealt with.
So what started on this street with Jamar Powell on his knees, surrounded by police officers, has 3 years on still only been partially resolved. There's an ongoing investigation by the Metropolitan Police into how an officer handled the initial complaint, and there are still 2 misconduct hearings to come. More waiting for the family.
Here's the response that the family received from an officer in 2020, 2 months after the incident. This person line managed the 2 officers who are now facing misconduct proceedings. First of all, the officer gets Jamar's name wrong. He calls him Jamal throughout the letter. Every allegation, an unnecessary stop and search, discriminatory behaviour, neglect of duty and harassing behaviour is deemed no further action. And on the point about racial discrimination, it says, the officers have specifically and on the information given stopped and searched Jamal. If they had straight away searched the white friend, this could, if anything, be discrimination, as this wasn't covered by the information given.
If they're saying that Jamar's friend, who was white, didn't match the description, neither did Jamar match the description. Apart from the colour of his skin, he didn't match the description.
In your view, Rachel, what went wrong with that initial complaint and how the police handled it?
The only reason I would have to believe why he did not refer that complaint was to have his officers back. It just felt like a big kind of cover-up, and he just wanted to just brush it under the carpet and just hope that I would go away.
Later, the police watchdog, the IOPC, informed the family that their complaint met the minimum criteria for a mandatory referral. The Met says the misconduct hearings will take place as soon as possible. Both officers are still working, one on restricted duties. They say a taser was drawn but not discharged, adding, "We recognise that this would have been a frightening experience for the teenage boy." The IOPC tell us they've used a discretionary power which allows them to present the gross misconduct hearing, not the Met. It's in the public interest, they say, and highly unusual. And based on new evidence, they'll refer a file to the Crown Prosecution Service relating to one officer for the potential offence of assault.
I think they definitely don't have a clue like how it impacts us, you know, on an emotional level. I think they just see it as, you know, they're doing their job and this is their everyday. But for us, it's like, you can just be walking down the road with your friends and now you're going through this traumatic experience, you've got guns, tasers pointed at you. That's going to change you for the rest of your life, but for them it's just a day in the office.
Rachel says she takes on the criminal justice system for all the young people who might be mistreated at the hands of the police, but acknowledges it comes at a great emotional cost.